Harsh, you've been ducking smoke all of 2023. You didn't pull up not one time in all of 2023.
Come on, bro. I ain't been ducking no smoke.
Herschel, they tried to get you up out of here on that other channel. They tried to body you on that other channel.
But you saw what I did. I stood tall. But listen, I'm going to say this. If you see what Marvel has been doing recently with Killmonger and Storm, bringing a Black Panther TV show, and they're going to walk around and grab artifacts, I don't need to troll nobody no more. Marvel is doing it. Marvel's doing all of it. I don't know what's going on. Like I said the other night on our channel, like, Marvel, y'all doing too much now. Like, y'all trolling super hard now. But it is what it is, man. I ain't saying nothing else. I ain't got to say nothing else about the whole Black Panther nation out there, because Marvel
What we doing about it? What we doing about it? What we doing about it?
Support Black indies. Something you can do.
I mean,
stop begging white folks.
Talk. That's as simple as it gets.
Stop begging white folks to get what you want in their books when they make the decision for their characters. You know, it should be guys like y'all we should be supporting. But you know how that is. You know, we had this mindset.
We gotta get our people back from Marvel and DC. We gotta get our people back.
We have this mindset.
We gotta get our talent back. Our artists, our writers, our
Uncle
editors.
Jack, you need to get that T-shirt, man. Go get that T-shirt. Old Kingdom Come.
Hey, Charles,
that T-shirt made.
Let's talk, Charles.
You said that. You know how that is. I want. Can you expand on that?
Hey, man, what are you doing, man? I'm serious. Get me on a hot mic and say something stupid.
No, brother. Listen, you pulled up to this channel, Herschel.
This behind the scenes. Ain't nobody gonna know.
No,
ain't no one can see you on behind the scene podcast.
It'll be just my luck. But listen, I'm not going to say anything I haven't. I'm not going to say something I haven't said before. It's crazy, but this is the world we live in. There is where can I start? Because I know we're talking about is Black Panther our only hope. I'm gonna be honest with you though. Let me address that. The truth of the matter is, I was talking to somebody earlier today. I don't know if it was Dion or somebody else. The nasty, dirty, crazy truth. And I don't want to do a Charleston White on y'all tonight.
Go ahead.
But the nasty, the truth is, that's partially true. And here's why. There's so many people that are just Black Panther and nobody else. There's so many people in the fandom that's where their brain is at. So he's got to honestly be the gatekeeper to really open up the doors for everybody else. And that word gatekeeper has a horrible connotation to it today. But back in the day, it used to be the person that opens up the door, like the Michael Jackson, the Steve Harveys. And now it's the person that's not letting you through. It's always used negatively. But that's what a lot of people, especially a lot of you independent artists, thought that this was what this movement was going to do. Great, here come all these other new Black folks that are all about the Black power, all about Black heroes. And then it seems like when a lot of y'all got to the door, everybody really start gatekeeping y'all. And it's like, well, you don't look like Black Panther. You don't smell like Black Panther. You know, but I get it. I understand it to a certain extent. But it's sad, it's disgusting, and I don't really see it changing. I don't dislike the character, but when I look around, my keychain, I have a Black Panther keychain. The merch is there. I have Black Panther. I have 3 Black Panther masks that I got. I'm a part of the machine myself, because every time I look up, there he is. I open up my drawer. I pull up my toothpaste. He's on my He's everywhere, and we gotta figure out somehow, some way to make the other Black superheroes matter more. They matter, but they just aren't mattering enough, because with Black folks, it's like Black Panther to a lot of people is our Superman and our Batman equivalent. The rest of y'all don't matter. And whereas with white folks, they can still like Flash, they can still like Green Arrow, they can still like Hawkeye, but with us, it's like, yeah, they cool, but we're gonna focus on this guy. And we can get some of the hyper-focusedness off of him, give him his respect, but then share the wealth, I think we'll be better off. But I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Okay, T Guys, how you feel about that?
Can everyone hear me?
Oh yeah, loud and clear.
Loud and clear, brother.
Okay, just making sure. Like I said, it'd be nice if we could get if we could get John Jones. I've got the Black Green Lantern.
Okay.
John Stewart.
Yeah, John Stewart.
John Stewart.
John Stewart's dope. I like him.
Okay, first I have a follow-up question. How do Black indie creators make characters that aren't just archetypes of white superheroes?
Charles, can I answer that? Herschel,
Bro, I mean, anybody would go ahead.
Herschel, can I answer that? I'm sorry, brother. Can I answer that?
Good. Charles,
Charles, the answer to that is to get out of the superhero genre. All right, go ahead.
Oh my
Herschel.
There it is.
Go ahead, Herschel. Go ahead, Herschel.
No way.
So many different.
Go ahead, Herschel. Tennis ball is on your side of the net. Go ahead, Herschel. It's on your side of the net, Herschel.
Listen. The problem with the great thing about today, there's a lot of y'all. The bad thing about today, there's a lot of y'all. Everybody's not putting out great content. And the people that's putting out the worst content is spamming their stuff everywhere. And there's only so many, because the white eyes it appeals to some of them, they're going to support, but it's mostly the Black folks that you're hoping that's going to buy your book. And somebody that has a large amount of people just on my Facebook group, and I see guys push in their stuff, the marketing is bad because they basically just say, here's my comic, support me, peace. It's like a drive-by post. And we get thousands of those. And so if I'm scrolling on Facebook, and because these comics aren't always, like, you're not going to see it on TikTok with the algorithm, forget about it. Unless you go to an influencer, you're not going to see a lot of these things. Instagram, you're competing with a lot of, at least Facebook, you can go to a section of Facebook and just, I want to get into Black indies, you can just scroll, you'll see that for Black indies. You're not going to see sports, you're not going to see BBLs, you're not going to see alcohol, you're not going to see all this other food. You're just going to focus on comics. Unfortunately, everybody bum rushed this genre, which is great, but a lot of people just bum rushed it without really taking out their time and doing great quality work. And the point, what you're saying, well, how can we create something that's like what you said, not up under a white archetype?
Mm-hmm. So
that's extremely hard because you got these guys that's been out since 1930s. Capes and Cal. Now there's some folks that have stood out amongst the ocean of what's out there. You got the Godhoods, you got the Concrete, you got the Black Sands, you got and then now recently, even though he's been out for a while, you got Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. That's not really a superhero, but you can kind of say it is. But the reason why that book sticks so much is because, number one, it's got Harriet Tubman, it's got vampires, and slavery. That's kind of
Jesus Christ.
Why would you?
And slavery, yes, and
slavery, and it's all these other stuff.
All right, look. Listen, man.
I mean, the dude markets that thing like crazy, but
hold on. No, go ahead.
I feel like a lot of people focus more because it's only 24 hours in a day, right? I feel like a lot of these people, they focus more on pushing marketing and pushing just trying to get it out there and stuff like that. But nobody, I feel like, really spends time on not just the art, because of course the art. I found a book that's 10 times better than everybody else when it comes to art, but the story just wasn't hitting like that. It wasn't standing the test of times with me. But then nobody, I feel like, focuses on story. Nobody focuses on to be different. Like, I don't want this thing to have no association with Superman. Nothing associated with Black Panther. No association with any Black standard. Like, all right, the slavery stuff, the even the Egyptian stuff. Like, what? How far out the box can you guys go here? And I feel like the superhero genre, like, it still has a lot of juice to be juiced out. But God dang it, it can even go outside the superhero genre, even do stuff then. Because name how many anime that's superhero based. You know what I'm saying? It's just a couple. So it's so many things that has not been done yet. And you can find a few of the perfect gems and stuff like that. Like Ronnie Barnes, he not only does he have the great art, he has a great story, the great marketing and stuff like that. But you're gonna have these other different stats like basketball players, where this dude's stat is all in writing, but the art ain't all there. Or this dude's all in art, but the marketing and the writing isn't there. So it's for real. It's really, to be honest, up to people like you, Hirsch, with your channel, your platform, to kind of filter out these different dudes
that comes out
and really like everybody. I feel like your channel should be the most, because you guys go dive deep into different creators and different
but you do know that you do know that's a sacrifice, because if I'm not gonna use Delta Dogs, I don't want to use O Kingdom Come, but let's say Uncle Jack and Dion had a book. Dion's book is Uncle Jack's book is solid to decent. We can work with that. Uncle Jack gets on the platform and does his thing. I can't get behind horrible marketing, horrible story, and somebody that's just basically took some crayons and drew on a napkin and said, "Oh, y'all gonna love this."
Wait. Hold on. Wait, I got a question for you though, Herschel. Right? Is Dion not a black creator?
He is a black creator.
Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit shaky, dog. This is where it gets shaky, right?
It gets very objective too, and that's the part that's gonna suck.
This is where it gets shaky, right? Because I want smoke.
You need to go get some smoke.
Herschel, Herschel. Listen to me. Triple H, Heel Heat Herschel. I want smoke, because to me, I feel like that's not keeping it funky, dog. That's not keeping it funky, bro.
Why's that?
Because, all right, if I put out a product that's not good, all right, cool, it's not good, right? But at the same time, though, it's okay to support my product as a black creator if it's not good. But I'm also being pressured to support recast T'Challa.
But that ain't got nothing to do with Black Common Lord stuff.
It doesn't?
The recast movement is bigger than us. We're a platform. We didn't create that. That's all email. It's people on the platform that speak on that, but nobody demands. Nobody's going to tell Vernell Young, you're not black because you're not saying recast T'Challa. Now, there's some people that's going to put a lot of emphasis and focus on that. But how many people don't even read comics? They're not black. They're not they're not real or whatever.
So when you listen, so when they tried to cook you. When they tried to cook you on that other platform, they weren't affiliated to BCL.
No,
they were affiliated with. So here's the thing: there are people that are diehard Black Panther fans. I'm a Black Panther fan. I'm one of them, and they recognize that I was a Black Panther fan like them. But I'm also a critic. If T'Challa gets his ass whooped, I'm gonna talk about it. If Blue Marvel gets his ass whooped, I'm gonna talk about it.
All right.
I'm not gonna hold back, and I'm not gonna argue with Marvel. If Hulk walks into a room with Blue Marvel and Hulk beats him, Hulk's stronger. I'm not gonna say, "Oh, this is stupid." I'm not gonna get into that. You know why? Because these are white IPs, and I don't own them. Now,
there you go. That's all you had to say.
I was waiting for. I was like, is he gonna say it?
You know what?
Right.
Hey, Hirsch.
Right.
That's all you had to say. You know you just deaded my whole argument right there. Shout out to Big Hirsch. You just deaded my whole argument.
I don't listen.
I don't got nothing else to say about it.
I don't mind smoke, and I don't mind the chaos.
I still want smoke.
One thing I'm not gonna. So here's what I will do. If Vernell Young had a superhero, and O Kingdom Come had a superhero, and I might be like, O Kingdom Come wanted to beat one of his characters, I might say, oh, that's messed up. I don't believe that. That's crazy. Because I feel like I could do that. But with these white boys who don't listen to what we got to say, they're gonna be arguing with you. Come on, man. I'm not gonna be telling you how to do your characters. Now, guess what? I'll buy. Guess what? But if I like your stuff, I'll buy it. If I don't, I won't. Period.
All right. So in 2023, how did we get to the point where? I mean, and shout out to everybody on this panel right now. And I mean, if y'all want to provide input on this, I'm with that. How did 4 hours is wild.
It's the midnight matinee right now because it's
That's wild. 4 hours
Midnight
is
Matinee, I
wild.
like that name.
podcast, baby.
4 hours is
Midnight
wild,
Matinee.
dog. I hope we don't do this again. But and for the record, this is a metal bookmark provided by
Oh
Old
my
Kingdom
goodness
Come.
gracious.
This is a metal bookmark right here. But anyway,
I'm not like, dang.
Yeah, boy, keep pushing. Let's go.
But anyways, how did we get to the point in 2023 where recast T'Challa became a civil rights movement? How did we get to that point?
Okay, let me express this.
And then I want look, anybody boycott activity. I know you on the graveyard shift, Majin, cuz I appreciate you hanging out with us, dog. I want input on this. When did we get to the point? How did recast T'Challa become a civil rights movement?
So
I
here's
want to
the
know.
thing.
We got more.
Here's the thing.
But go ahead.
Black Panther is a self-insert for a lot of people, regardless if it's the right thing to do, regardless if it's the wrong thing to do. And a lot of people are looking at the treatment of T'Challa in the book as a bigger narrative for how Black people have been treated in this country.
I agree.
Now, I could put on my my African cloth hat, and we could go down that rabbit hole.
Yep.
I'm actually at the point now. I'm not going to argue for it. I'm not going to argue for or against it, because again, who's at the helm of the controls? White folks. And so they gonna do this is what they have the liberty to do all these things. Right now, we were talking the other day. Right now, T'Challa's in a comic book with a transgender man. At any given time, they might
I didn't want to talk about
this.
it. You got it.
And guess what? You either gonna get mad, throw tomatoes at Marvel, or you just ain't gonna buy it. But at the end of the day, you don't own that character.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You don't own that character. T'Challa has been through, in the last couple years, hell and back. Now, but I'm going on with T'Challa. Let me get back to your question. So a lot of people don't appreciate other Black superheroes because they look at them as sidekicks, characters, and so on and so forth, sitting in the background. A lot of those people haven't even read these books, and they just don't have the appreciation, because when they turn on the tube, they see the Man of Steel, they see Batman, they see all these white characters flying in the forefront, and then there's your token cyborg or your token character in the background. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, though, you got some really, really good independent Black superheroes that are out there, but they're in comic book form. You don't probably have hardly to any in a movie or TV form. Therefore, you kind of poke your nose at them because there's no white validation. White folks ain't talking about these heroes. Everybody in the crowd is standing in the line for these white heroes or white characters. And guess what? They're supposed to do that. Now, what are we supposed to be doing? We are supposed to be doing that with our characters. But T'Challa has sucked the air out of the room. He's a popular character. Can't take nothing from the guy. He went from a C-lister to an A-lister overnight, and he resonated with a lot of people.
And it wasn't off of the strength of the comics.
It was not the strength of the comics, but the comics played a role to the people that weren't casual. And then it wasn't enough for the movie to be pretty good. All the pomp and circumstance that came with it, with people dressing up, people dancing. There were some people who literally showed up, didn't even go watch the movie. They just showed up just to dance as a fashion show. But the bad news about all that, a lot of other Black people saw that and said, wow, there are Black people out here that want to buy and collect and get into Black heroes. Y'all got tricked. Y'all got tricked. Because there's just not that big amount. There's a lot of people that want to sit on the big screen, but they don't want to read anything. They don't want to follow anything. And going back to your point, I bet you, and I could be wrong, because I have a comic book, but I haven't sold one like Vanilla. I keep pointing to Vanilla and Old Kingdom Come, because those are the two guys I know on this panel that actually have a comic book. But I want somebody to buy my comic book because they really want. I don't want nobody to come by. That's why I'm not. Yeah. I don't want a sympathy buy, because a sympathy buy is going to be a one purchase, and that's it. I want you to come back. I want you to blow up my email, ask me when I'm coming out with number 2. But the biggest thing that I know I'm kind of switching gears, and I'm going to try to land this plane.
Go ahead.
This. But the biggest thing, I tell people this all the time, and it goes one ear and out the other. Instead of spamming these groups, have people that buy your comic to talk about your damn comic. Say, man, I just read this book. It's really, really good. Man, y'all should go pick this up. Da, da, da. That's how Black Sands made it. I didn't see the Black Sands dude until he came on The Breakfast Club. But before all that, what did I see? Everybody on social media talking about how good Black Sands on this comic was. Now, nobody think about the story.
I feel you, but I don't think about his book. But
yeah, it was
about his book. But
that's how I found out. I didn't find out by doing no research. Same thing with Marcus Williams and Tuskegee Heirs. I've never read that day in my life, but the Marcus Williams effect was obviously there.
Absolutely.
But on top of that, people were just saying, "Oh." Every time you said, "Well, what Black independent books you read?" What did you hear? Black Sands and Tuskegee Heirs. That's what you would hear. Okay. Maybe the Almighty Street Team a couple of years ago. I heard Delta Dogs used to come up quite a bit. But those were your four go-to. Now you get Godhood, you got your Concretes. They start to come up a little bit. But
all right,
what defines a like? What do you think that defines a comic book where it comes to like? Is it the story? Is it just the popularity? Because you see certain books where you know that book ain't good. You read it, you bought it, it ain't good, but everybody's talking about it. You know, maybe even a big name is getting behind that book, or it's associated with a certain person.
I'm saying,
what to you, Hirsch, defines a comic book that makes it good? That makes it like, yo, this has the potential to become mainstream, and it deserves to be mainstream.
Listen, there's got to be something about that book that's gonna trigger you. You can trigger somebody negatively, you can trigger somebody positively. So Black Sands will have the right timing, because this was during the police brutality type situation, Black Lives Matter. So everybody wanted to pretend like they was pro-Black. All of a sudden, out of the blue.
Wait, my bad, brother. I'm gonna substitute Black Sands with Milestone. That's what Milestone was supposed to be doing. That was the whole push behind Milestone in 2020 and 2021.
Not wrong.
That was the whole push behind Milestone. And what happened?
I won't be commenting on Milestone tonight.
No further questions.
We're not doing that. Listen. The Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer, that's nuts. That doesn't even sound like those things don't go together. So people are like, And guess what? Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer ain't got the greatest art in the world. Don't have no bad art. But the art doesn't grab you. That name grabs you. Like, what do you mean, Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer? This is supposed to be one of our queens, and you put her in a comic book. I'm triggered. Let me go see what this is about. And then it's actually good. It's got a good story. So the phrase, the name of that drew you in. The other day, a couple months ago, I picked this book up just for cover. This is with Grok Comics. The guy that owns the company is kind of controversial. But that cover was fire. One of the main things listen, you might not ever read a book, but if you could walk by and that cover grabs your eyeballs out of the socket, it makes you look, okay. And guess what? He charged me, $7 for this? That's all right, boom. Gave him his little $7, in fact, I got 2 covers. He sent me another. So for me, and for a lot of people tell you, oh, it's all about the story. It's about that damn cover. Number 1 is gonna be the cover. Number 2 gonna be the story. Listen, Marvel puts out, I can't cuss, but Marvel you know what I want to say, puts out trash.
Why you can't cuss?
I thought you said we can't cuss.
Behind the scenes, bro.
I didn't say that. Who said you can't? Oh, wow.
Marvel and DC, and y'all know this, puts out trash comics all the time. And what do we do every Marvel Voices in February for Black History Month? Ooh, I can't wait to go grab this.
Listen, we get played.
Nobody's talking about that damn story.
Hirsch, you can say whatever you want to say on this channel, dog. Say whatever you want to say.
Well, I gotta be mindful. But listen,
free smoke.
Listen, people will buy stuff. Listen, I got a whole long box full of books that I just bought for cover. It is what it is.
I mean, how big is that market though? What is just like cover?
Well, that market might even be bigger. Now it's gonna sound like foolish. That market,
go ahead.
I'm scared.
That market actually might be bigger and better than the actual readers. Here's why. Because white boys ain't going to always, unless it's Bronze Age, the Luke Cage that they know, the old job talking, or a black character that plays a role that they're comfortable with, they're not going to pick up that book and read it. But if that cover is fire and that character is a classic character, they're going to buy it. There's a lot of white boys go out there and buy those Marvel voices because they like those characters.
That's a big claim, Hirsch.
So I think there's more people that will buy a book because, okay, first of all, let me back up.
I believe him. I believe you.
About 2 years ago, people will buy books, didn't read them for speculation because they never can get a flip on. I was one of them. I bought.
What'd you buy?
Brother Voodoo?
I Am Batman.
No. I didn't. I bought U.S. Agent, First Person U.S. Agent. That book was going for $2,000 in a 9.8. I flipped it for like $100 and some odd dollars. It was a low grade, but I paid $5, got the $100. So that was at the time then. The time that we are in now, people are more so buying for the hobby. They ain't buying for the flip because these books.
Because the spec game is dead. The spec game is dead.
The spec game is dead now.
The spec game is dead in the superhero genre. The spec game is dead.
But here, guess what? I like to show receipts. Comic book sales are actually up. A small portion in 2022.
Compared to what?
Numbers came out. They up, which is crazy.
They include trades and paperbacks, right?
They include all that. Let me go photos.
So the floppies may not be doing as good.
This is just from 2022.
Right. Oh wow!
Let me blow this up. This is 22 and 21, and it's up a little, barely, but it's up. Right. And my thing is, as long as it's going to upward direction. Now, this is just comics. Now, trade paperbacks has far exceeded comic books.
Hirsch. Let's slow it down. We're gonna continue this on your channel, bro, because you cooking right now. You cooking right course meal. I ain't trying to cut your wisdom. I'm not trying to cut your wisdom at all, bro. We gonna do this on BCL.
Okay. We getting off?
No, not yet. We wrapping up 2023. We started talking about the Black Panther joint and just ended up.
But you asked me the questions. I answered the best I could.
And you answered the questions excellent, brother. Excellent. I wish that you jumped on a lot sooner in the year, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how is everybody feeling right now? What time is it where y'all live at?
On the East Coast, on God's time, it is now 12:19.
It's on God's time.
Yeah.
EST, right?
On God's plan. That's what it is.
The sun rises in the east. The sun rises in the east.
With one thing.
EST.
I gotta leave her with one thing I think is important.
Yeah. Go ahead, Charles.
Go ahead, Charles.
I think your place and all of BCL's places like solidified, and it's very important.
Yep.
And like all the changes are happening. I think you have like an opportunity to be like the sway in the morning of comics, you know, of that whole genre. But I do think you need to raise that bar a little higher and make that entry a little harder.
Man, listen.
What you mean?
Can I follow up on that?
I think the bar can be higher for like what you consider, because I think there's two things you're balancing, right? You were talking about if Dion drops a trash book, but Uncle Jack's book's good, right? You wouldn't want to insult Dion by doing Uncle Jack. You do that. And we say what it is. It is what it is.
Play. You got to do it, but good.
You got to do it for the sake of people will now start to
trust
a benchmark, knowing that BCL is the validator. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say one thing to follow up on what Charles said? Can I just say one thing? Look, I got a lot of respect for what you do on that platform, Herschel, and I think that it was bullshit that there. No, I'm gonna keep it 100. I think it was bullshit.
That boy about to go in.
I think it was bullshit that there were other platforms that really tried to play you out. You know what I'm saying? I think that was bullshit. When you were standing on business on some of these other platforms and calling it down the middle, And then later on, to see some of these other platforms turn on each other after trying to jump you and play you out, I thought that was I can't really respect that, bro. Like, dudes was calling flags on the play and all of that on other stuff, but wasn't calling out flags on the play when they was trying to gang up on you and calling you out of your name for you keeping it 100 on some of these characters.
But they respectfully, they shouldn't have.
No,
they shouldn't have. I mean, that was the Lions Den.
What do you when you say they shouldn't have? What do you mean though? What do you mean?
Listen, when you're engaged in certain arenas, if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, 49ers fan, you a Dallas fan, 49ers fan, even if it wasn't an interception, you gonna still say it is. And listen, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you that's how the fandom moves.
That's how you look at it.
That's how they look at it, bro. They don't look at it any other way.
This is all I'm gonna say here. This is all I'm gonna say here, bro. If I don't sign a petition, right? If I'm not on board with signing a petition, you can't tell me that I'm not pro masculinity when you support what's going on in comics pertaining to the character that you want to be recast. You can't have it both ways, bro. I'm sorry. Like, the argument towards you being on the wrong side of that is not consistent when there's support on the other side of that argument, but dudes are ganging up on you just to tell you that you're wrong for stating the obvious. You, in certain instances, they were saying you were wrong. They were saying that you and Donovan were wrong for highlighting the fact that Black Panther is a character that doesn't belong to us, right? But at the same time...
No. Let me tell you why they were upset. They were upset
Go ahead.
because I made a post about... I made a whole meme, a joking meme about how people were going crazy because they didn't know if T'Challa was going to be in the next game. And I came out and said, this ain't about is he going to be in the next game. It's about recast. Y'all using this as a springboard.
That's what it was about.
But guess what? A lot of those guys are gamers. So if I'm going to say something like that, that was bad. I normally don't say stuff like that, and I paint it with a broad brush. I'm a Black Panther fan, so I'm going after my own people. Now I'm not as diehard, and I don't bring his name doesn't stay in my mouth as much as others. And I'll go that far because I understand that if I'm so hyper focused here, everybody else is going to get neglected because there's not enough people touching on Black Goliath. These independent books, Luke Cage, Storm gets trailered in with T'Challa. They're kind of a package deal, even though they're not together. But she kind of gets trailered in on a nice little trailer. So we get all that. But no, they came at me because I made a broad statement, and plus they were shocked because I don't always go on that platform as much on a live. So they were shocked that there was somebody that wasn't as diehard with them and was willing to criticize T'Challa. So therefore, that's where they came from. So I cleared the air on that. But ultimately, I said, listen, everybody that's on this live is Black Panther fans. I'm just a little bit more critical about him than you guys are.
Because you care about the character.
I mean, I have different views, but are we done here? And then we moved on to something totally different. I understand how you feel, and I saw that they came at each other.
Yeah.
But I understand
it's like you joking your cousin and got nigga everybody getting offended. Bro, it's your cousin. Like, you know what I'm saying? You love him regardless, but got nigga, you joking or you telling your cousin like, yo, look, you need to chill out on a couple of things. For them to turn on you like that, but I mean, it's whatever. I ain't even going to thrust my opinion. It's whatever.
That was nasty work. All of that was nasty work, bro.
But you know what though? That's the price that you pay
on the internet.
You say certain things. Now, I don't. If I could go back, I would say it differently.
No,
wouldn't be so aggressive.
No, there's no reason to say it differently.
Not because truth be told, what I said was inaccurate.
Which part?
Huh?
Which part?
When the whole scuffle about all this was when I made mention to this is not about T'Challa being in the video game. This is about the recast period. The problem with that is that a lot of this stuff that the reason why we're here now tonight, we wouldn't be talking about is Black Panther our only hope if it wasn't for Chadwick Boseman dying. That's the reason why Black Panther comes up as much as he is. If he was still alive, he'd be in the movies, we might move on to something else. We might be saying, when they gonna put Storm and T'Challa in the book? But the mere fact that he's dead. So that bled over to the gamer, to the gaming part. But guess what? The same guys that came at me, they were gamers. So what I said really didn't apply to them. And so, but when I applied it to everybody, I didn't clarify I deserved that smoke, but I cleaned it up. I stood tall. I didn't, oh my God, guys, I'm sorry. No, I was like, hey, I said what I said. Probably wasn't the best thing to say. Ultimately, we all Black Panther fans. Like I said, I'm just more critical of it.
You know what? I respect that. I respect
I took the high road on that one because ultimately, why am I fighting about a character that doesn't exist? That's owned by a white company, and that we all appreciate and like. I just don't. I'm just not. I don't want to say that, but I'm just not hyper focused on it, buddy. I'm just not. But I respect that this is what's helping you get through your day. That's cool.
Can I piggyback off that?
Go ahead.
Can I pick it up? I feel like that in the media that we're in and stuff like that, man, it's especially like, we're in an extremist society and stuff like that. So when they're like pouring their heart into something, it's a strong green light for that situation. Whether they're a diehard Cowboys fan, diehard PlayStation fan, diehard PC fan, diehard Superman fan, it's a diehard society. That's what you eat, sleep, and breathe and stuff like that, And I get the topic that we're going on right now. Is Black Panther our only hope and stuff like that? And I'm seeing that what we have in the comic side of Marvel and DC, they're really we're still waiting for a black hero to at least overtake what's already existing. And as right now, Black Panther is the only thing that we have. It feels like, And it feels like that the moment that you sit here and it feels like you minimalize the whole Black Panther movement and everything else. It feels like that's it's a test of your black card. Like you're really being challenged at things. When you're at Thanksgiving, you're being challenged for your black card. Oh, you're not supporting Black Panther? Or when it comes to supporting your comic book artists, your industry, stuff like that, oh, your black card is always being challenged and stuff like that. And that's just the cold hard truth of what's going on.
I would really like to piggyback off of that because
Black Panther. Okay.
Oh my bad.
No, go ahead.
I was saying one thing we don't want to admit, and that's why these conversations happen so often, is that media is built off identity politics. Like most media is built, like the NBA is built off identity politics. The NBA had decent ratings until there was a Larry Bird and a Magic Johnson, right? Some of the biggest fights was white versus black. So when you say, why did it become a civil rights movement, is because all media, or the large majority of it, is identity politics. Like, I'm in a lot of conservative spaces because I'm not an American conservative, but I'm a conservative, right? So I see them always talk about, why is this black woman the lead? Why is this black man the lead? And then in some cases, they play it really slick, and I don't mean to offend nobody, where instead of inserting a black male character in a space where the black consumer is large majority black males, you'll insert a black female instead. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, people want to see themselves in these characters and want these characters represented powerfully, right? And that's across the whole board. So that's why people are so attached to what people would just say is ink and paint, or just a drawing or a character. So that's why it became a civil rights movement thing, because in reality, with every other identity-based movement we want, the way we got it done was sticking to ourselves and sticking together. And that's the issue we have now. We need to, the only way we're going to get it done is to build our own and buy or own. Other than that, they're gonna give you these breadcrumbs and a slap in the face. And me personally, I'd rather you give me nothing, right? No black character representation, than slap me in the face and say T'Challa is now transgender. No offense, I don't know if I can say it on your channel, but
You ready, Seth?
that's what's coming over the rainbow.
Jack has left the building.
All right.
Yeah, Thanos
We
snap.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
We are demonetized. All right.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Promise. I promise y'all. I'll be right
But
back.
you know what though? I'm gonna be honest. And it don't mean much. And it's sad that I could say that don't mean much, because who I'm about to mention could turn all this stuff around. Honestly, I hope really in Jesus. But as far as comics, I hope, bro, it's really in Rodney Barnes, bro. He is the only person that's already on the other side. He's already in Hollywood. He's got dummy good IPs ready to rock and roll. He just got to get to a point that we can get into a movie or a show, which is weird because he just did the freaking Lakers show.
Right.
But Philadelphia is ready to rock. It's ready to go. People are saying
the next Walking Dead.
It should be the next Walking Dead. I've got a couple covers of that. If you're gonna get right now, the best time to get behind anybody would be Rodney Barnes. I really can't even think. Even Rodney Barnes is getting with his Blackula character. Is getting with Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. They're about to come out with a book too. But he's really the next. I don't want to say John Singleton. Rodney Barnes is the next Rodney Barnes. I hate trying to compare people to other people, but yeah, I mean, if we can get behind him and push those books. But the problem with that is, and this is always the problem, and even when I do my variants, and I shouldn't even tell y'all this, I almost have to put a mainstream character in there, or it never gets
to validate him.
That's how much we are just. Well, I don't recognize this character. I'm too lazy and sorry to look him up to go to a website and that girl, her name is Vigilance. It's made by this creator. I should go and check. That ain't how we operate. We are such a trendy mindset people. Not all of us, but a lot of the folks that we I want to say service, but that we have in these spaces, it's all about the trends. You know, we were just saying we're gonna take a knee. Now that's gone. We were just saying we were gonna do this. Now that's gone. Like we hop it, we bounce on and off from all these darn trends. And honestly, T'Challa is the ultimate trend. And until he gets recasted, it's always going to be a talking point. And y'all gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it, and that's just what's gonna be. Meanwhile, all the independent titles that's sitting out there gonna be forgotten.
Look,
and then people will constantly yell, support black characters. Support who? And they always gonna give you the same two. Black Sands and Tuskegee Ears. That's what they gonna say, man.
Hey, listen,
that's what they gonna say.
What happened to Eric's book sprays, though?
Go ahead, Munch. We gonna wrap it up, man. Go ahead, Munch.
I appreciate y'all. So,
yep.
On to the T'Challa thing. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much like you said, like we just gotta stop supporting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a character that we identified with, but then the death helped us even identify with it more. You know what I'm saying? It was a tragedy that they capitalized on, and now we're still holding that. So that's why that's become a civil rights movement, because now we've made him a great in our mindset and in our culture. You know what I'm saying? But they're using that, and like you said, as a gatekeeper, using it as a key. So in time, it'll change. You know what I'm saying? We're getting through it. It is what it is. People got to get over it, but everybody got to stop being so hurt and butthurt because you want to be represented. Like you said, man, instead of putting a black male in, they'll rather put, a black female. So instead of it being, T'Challa, we got Shuri. You know what I'm saying? I get that. It popped in right quick. So we'll get through it. But my last thing on like anything with like black media, black novel, and like going into like black history and magic. The series by Tommy Adeyemi, you know what I'm saying, of Children of Blood and Bone. Something. Children of Blood and Bone. That's like the first one. It's a series. Okay. So like that's a good one. That whole book that it tells you that there's no white people. It's only black and brown people, but then it's a struggle between that. You know what I mean? It's not to ruin anything, but they white people were talking about that could rival Harry Potter. All right, cool. Y'all don't fucking understand it, but as us, a part of the culture, it's something that we should understand. But now that book is only going to get certain placements. Yeah, it was really good, but now, Amazon's only going to show you when it's on sale. So once again, that comes to like when we have to have these platforms that you all have, that we have. Herschel, appreciate you, you know what I'm saying? Delta Dogs, you know what I'm saying? Like everything that we have here, we got to bring it together because we got to support each other. So we have to show it and let it all be. So even if it is good, even if it is bad, it's the point of like when we start saying that, hey, like this can be improved, not to feel like we're attacking each other, you know what I'm saying? Like we're in the culture and we're trying, like we're gonna be skeptics of it because this is our culture. So we rather it be correct and it actually hit than versus you go out there and you're like, well, they just gave me money because I'm a Black creator.
Man, hey, listen, that's a fact right there. That's a fact.
I guess it's crazy. It's crazy. And no disrespect to you, my man who just spoke. I never thought we'd be in a time that we would say, begging for you. I think you said something about representation. What did you say about representation?
Like we're begging for representation from somebody that doesn't want to represent us.
Yeah, and it's funny because we couldn't even say that 20 years ago in the MCU or any really other than Storm. That's literally all we had 20 years ago was the Storm, and then we got Valkyrie.
Oh no, man, Eric Brooks Blade.
What you said?
Eric Brooks Blade.
I mean, yeah, you got Blade, you had Spawn, you had Negan, man. But the tragedy of Blade is that people went to go see the Wesley Snipes movie. They didn't even know he was a superhero. I remember as a teenager telling people, "Oh, he's a superhero." No, I don't think about that.
Listen, that's fair. All of that is fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yep. I must
go ahead. Wrap us up. I'm
gonna say this, and then I got to dip out. First things first. Hers. I know I asked you this like a minute ago, but I think the trend of putting cover first of why we should be buying books like this based off of art and stuff, I don't think that's going to get us the furthest like we want to.
Right? No, I'm not saying that's no. I didn't say that's what you should. I think that's what a lot of people do look at. I'm not saying.
Yeah, I'm saying the trend of how we kind of like buy our stuff, like just like with Marvel and DC, they be bringing out the best covers. You know what I'm saying? But if we're buying it just based off the cover versus the story is fire, then we're gonna basically lead ourselves into a brick wall, and that's where we're kind of at right now. So we can just change the formula, like, look, story is like that, and that's the reason why we, we stand on it. But I feel like that's gonna lead us to the promised land versus where we're at right now.
Well, where you gonna go? Where you gonna go and have people talk about the story? Who's talking about the story right now online? How many people?
Exactly. Who's talking about the story right now? We're in Japan. We're talking about My Hero all day. We're talking about One Piece all day. Where we have, you have channels that's built bigger than I feel like what Black Panther is talking about. We have channels built like for One Piece or for like I'll say bigger than Marvel and DC. You got channels that's built around anime.
And Negroes is running them pages too.
All right.
My bad. I mean,
any Negroes in
Herschel,
okay.
punk of the podcast.
I'm not talking about. It's not like a black. It's not like a black thing per se. This is more of a in general. I ain't mentioned anything about black. I just said Black Panther because that was one of the kids to talk about. We can talk about. We can talk about. Let me see, Green Lantern. We can talk about that. But my point is that story, I feel like, is what's the leading thing versus again what we see on the outside and stuff. There ain't no timeout around here. Look, so as far as like again how we do things in the comic book community needs to be changed up so we can be as successful as manga and anime. That's all. That's all I'm saying. It wasn't a black thing. This was a.
Like, he's getting ready to go. So he's got to get it out.
That's like you trying to race against Usain Bolt right now.
Look,
you're right, but the pathway to get there, what does the roadmap look like to get there? Because the way these Negroes
Hold on.
is trying to move to Japan right now.
Hirsch,
Man, I'm got nothing. I was saying, don't got nothing with the
Hold on.
I'm just saying this thing works.
I
That's
can't
all
on
I'm
this
saying.
podcast
This
no
thing
more.
works.
look, no, let me answer that question. The truth of the matter.
Herschel is consistent,
Oh,
bro.
listen, yeah, hey, and I respect it. I got all the respect in the world.
And
for
that's not a
Brother
shot,
Herschel.
Barnell. That's not a shot.
No, but hold on,
You're
Man out here. Look,
Hold
bro,
on.
I ain't one of the sissy. You good, bro? Talk,
Hold on.
man.
You don't like manga at all, bro.
No, but to answer
God,
that
he's like
question, to give the best answer possible, there is no roadmap. And for the
Yeah.
foreseeable future, there will not be a roadmap because the entertainment industry is based on dictating
I got you.
our
Almost.
the entertainment industry is based on dictating our culture to us. The people who make the decisions on what our culture looks like do not look like us. That is the whole. Oh, Herschel, you disagree?
No, I'm saying.
My bad. Because I want to wrap it up on that. The entire the beginning, middle, and end of this whole conversation all comes back to the fact that the people who are dictating how this culture goes and what our culture looks like do not look like us. We are granting permission to people who do not look like us to tell us what people who look like us are doing in this world.
We got no say so.
No, we have no say so. And it hurts me to say that because there are certain circles where I'm wrong for saying that. There are certain circles where I would be looked at as the enemy for saying that. But I'm just being as honest as I can about that. But on the reals, brothers, this is a lot of wisdom. We done kicked a lot of real talk. We just hit 4 hours and 36 minutes. This could have been
I might keep it going on my show. I'm up.
All right,
Let me know.
Man, hers past midnight, and he like, yo, that's how I roll, bro.
Shut this one down. Fine.
but we can't cuss on your
Hers
channel.
Adult Swim. This
Yeah.
y'all go Tsunami.
Man, you go
Hers Adult Swim, bro.
channel.
Hey, but look, on the way out, we got what? We got 9 brothers on this channel, man. On the way out, all I want, I just want y'all to close out 2023. T guys, we gonna start it from the bottom all the way up to me. T guys, close out 2023, brother. What you looking forward to in 2024, dog? Let's wrap it up, man. Respectfully.
What I'm looking forward towards. You saw about what I'm looking forward towards next year.
Yes, sir.
I'm hoping I hear something more about Spawn because, like I said, that's supposed to, trying to be a movie again, and I've really heard anything about that as a while. But I'm hoping that gets some representation and gets it moving, more information about it. Is it coming? Is it go or not?
You better pack a lunch. 'Cause it's gonna be a while.
Hey, wow. Hey, chill out. Let that man have hope.
It's gonna be.
Hey.
That's unfortunate.
But like I said, hopefully a Blade game's good, so that I can get some, shed some light on that series again, and also I guess the TV show, whenever that comes out, hopefully that's that has a good story and just brings Blade back to life and light and let's see. Other than that, who remembers the Mantis? Revamp that.
Mantis. Oh.
I said, hey, who remembers that series?
Nah,
Yeah,
bro.
Old school.
You got me on that one.
I said,
Any details?
Dion, you're the only one?
Bro.
Who else?
I don't
No
want
one
to
else?
get that. That's an old school superhero show. Old
All right.
school.
Yeah, but like I said, that's the African American.
African, he's one of the first.
I'll do it. All
But
right.
like I said, look it up.
I'm looking
But other
it
than that, that's all I got. Herschel.
Shout out
No
to T
details.
guys. Hurst, big Hurst. What you
Guys.
looking forward to in 2024, brother?
No.
Some Marvel voices covers for people to act like, oh my God, it's Marvel. They're doing something for us. Nah. I'm looking for somebody else to do what y'all doing what we doing. It needs to be multiplied. Black comic lords. We need more platforms to talk about T'Challa and independent comics, and we need more influencers in this space. Really, the only influencers,
bro. Y'all good. Y'all doing y'all thing. Lock that down.
but we ain't reaching everybody. We're not reaching enough people. I mean, the truth be told, you saying we good because we the only ones you see, but that's a problem. Where's the rest of the black folks out here doing now? A lot of people on TikTok.
They shook. It's a lot of people that shook.
At barbershops.
There's a lot of people that's talking about support, but they're not willing to put their cash on the table, man. And they're not willing to create no platforms. You know, people get mad at Black comic lords all the time because we don't do this and we won't post that. Go build your page. I built it since 2020. Go build you a page if you want to. Listen, there's several comic book groups on Facebook. Most of them are dead because there's a lot of things that you got to do to build that stuff up. To build the brand of it up, you got to put some effort in. You can't just build it and everybody go come in there. Everybody go start talking. It don't work like that. Well, black folks. So that's just what I hope. There's more platforms. There should be at least 10 to 12 folks that just focus on black stuff and just comics without having to do, well, let's talk about this. No, just focus on your black comics. You can do your Godzilla -1, all that stuff too. I'm not saying you can't talk about nothing else, but there needs to be more people that's doing what behind the scenes is doing. Keeping it real.
I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that.
On that.